Earlier today, the Champions League group stage draw was upon us. All the qualifiers were done. We finally had all of the teams in the different pots confirmed. And here they are, in case you didn't know what the pots were looking like going in. It's kind of a crazy year this year because pot 1, half the teams in it could switch with pot 2 teams and you wouldn't blink an eye. Pot 2 is arguably as strong, if not stronger than pot 1. So anyone in 3 or 4 are in big trouble. So I did a stream earlier where we were reacting live to the UCL group stage draw. It takes so long, doesn't it? They dragged it out for nearly an hour, but we do now have the groups confirmed. So we'll run through each of these, give my initial thoughts, and then what we will do is predictions 1 through 4 of each group. I want to hear your predictions in the comments as well to see which one of us ends up being the most accurate. So we start off with Group A. We have Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, and Rangers. Pretty competitive group if you ask me. Now, if all of these teams are playing at the absolute best of their ability, then you would assume that Liverpool would walk it. However, with their start to the season, it might not be as easy as that. Ajax are a good team. We've seen them do very well in the Champions League, even recently as well, getting so close to the final with that famous game against Tottenham with Lucas Moura being the hero in it. That run was legendary from Ajax, and so we know that they're good. Obviously, they don't have Ten Hag anymore, and it looks like they may be losing Antony to Man United, but still a very good team. Napoli, unfortunately, knocked us, Leicester, out of the Europa League last year, so I hope that they get knocked out. But good team, some very, very good players. Obviously, they have sold Koulibaly to Chelsea, which is a big loss in defence for them, but they're still going to be a very challenging team. And Rangers are a bit of a punt, really. They've gone through the qualification process in order to get into the Champions League, but some worthy competition in Group A. Group B is like a tier 2 group here. We've got Porto, Atletico, Leverkusen, and Bruges. Now, a bit like the first one, if they're all at their best, Simeone masterclass to get them top of the group, maybe. But Porto aren't pushovers. We saw that last season in the Champions League. Leverkusen and Bruges are probably a tier below those guys and may struggle a little bit in this group, but they do still have some decent players here and there, just not incredible squads. So if those star players do perform, could be entertaining. Now we move on to one of 2 big boy groups. Group C has Bayern München, Barcelona, Inter, and then Victoria Plzen, who are probably hating life right now. But those 3 big boys, incredible. Should be some fantastic games. Now, if this was last season, then Inter and Bayern would basically wipe the floor with Barca and Plzen. However, Barca rejuvenated under Xavi, Lewandowski, Rafinha, some of these other signings coming in are massive, especially in the Champions League, to try and get some really, really good level Barcelona performances. More of the old era of we are dominant. We have got some of the best players in the world. We play some of the best football in the world. We're here to win this thing. Last season, that definitely wasn't the case. Bayern Munich are going to be one of the favourites going into this. Barca, I think, may actually be underrated because I'm not quite sure that a lot of people realise how much has changed since last year. A lot, to say the least. Inter, Lukaku back. Is he going to absolutely smash it in the UCL? We'll have to wait and see. Plzen, oh dear. Next, moving on to Spurs, return to the UCL in Group D. And they face Frankfurt, Sporting, and Marseille. Now, it's a pretty well-balanced group, this one. Marseille are the ones that you didn't want to get from pot 4. They are solid. Sporting, hit and miss. Some years they look like they could smash it in Europe, and others they just sort of flop out without any real care in the world. Frankfurt obviously did very well in Europe last season, and Spurs under Conte, you'd think that they're going to do well here, but again, it's not quite the mega group that we had in C, but it's a very well-balanced group, this one, and potentially going to have some really interesting matchups. Group E is next, and this is where Chelsea arrive. They have got AC Milan, which is a tricky one to get from pot 1. They also have Salzburg and Dinamo Zagreb. So if you're a Chelsea fan, you got to be thinking that this is one of the better groups that you could have got. Whilst AC Milan aren't any pushovers compared to like Real Madrid, PSG, you've kind of got off lightly here. And so I think Chelsea fans are going to be pretty happy with this one. Group F, surely Real Madrid are just going to absolutely slap everybody up. So Madrid are in there. They've got Leipzig, they've got Shakhtar, and Celtic in there as well. However, last year, we did have a massive upset with Sheriff against Real Madrid with an absolute wonder goal, for those of you that remember that. That was crazy. Cost a lot of people a lot of money, I assume, on bets. But, I mean, they won it last year. They are just winners, aren't they, at Real? It's crazy. So, yeah, this one should be easy for them. The other 3 teams, really intrigued as to how that's going to turn out. Group G, we have Manchester City in there against Sevilla, Dortmund, and then Copenhagen. So City not getting a group of death is really, really good for them. Potentially build up some confidence early doors in the Champions League this season. Maybe get Haaland firing for them in that competition could be really good for motivation and just knowing that they can really be a force in it this year. So I think you're mainly looking at a second place competition here between Sevilla and Dortmund, maybe Copenhagen. Again, you have with these lesser teams a couple of players that can be really, really impressive. And as I said earlier in one of the first few groups, if that like star player for that team turns up, you can turn a result on its head. So let's see. And then the last one is the other group of death. We have Group H. Started off with PSG. Obviously, one of the favourites going in. If we can get that Messi, Neymar, Mbappe combination, which they've started Ligue 1 unbelievably well, going into the Champions League, then they're going to be a force. They are up against Juventus, who are not going to be easy as well. It's probably going to be attack v defence in that fixture, if we're honest. Benfica are absolutely no pushovers. They have lost their star striker in Darwin Núñez to Liverpool. However, still a very, very good team. And then, yeah, Maccabi Haifa. It's unfortunate for them. So, let's do these predictions. Here are my predictions for each group in the first round of the Champions League. Group A, Liverpool, Ajax, Napoli, Rangers. Group B, Atletico, Leverkusen, Porto, Bruges. Group C, I'm leaving it as it is. Bayern, Barca, Inter, and then Poulsen. D, Tottenham, Marseille, Frankfurt, Sporting. E, I'm going Chelsea, Milan, Salzburg, Dinamo Zagreb. Group F, Real Madrid, obviously. Then I'm going to go Celtic, Leipzig, Shakhtar. Group G, Man City, Dortmund, Sevilla, so they can go and win the Europa League, and then Copenhagen. Group H, I'm going to go Juventus, PSG to not come top, Benfica, and then Maccabi. Do you agree with my predictions? Let me know. But there we go. Those are all of my thoughts for the Champions League group stage. What are yours? I would really, really love to hear them. Please put them in the comment section down below. I'm so excited for the Champions League to be back, and we've only got 12 days until it actually kicks off, which is amazing. I will be doing predictions for the specific fixtures as well as obviously this full group stage prediction. So if you did enjoy it, thumb it up, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.